Hey guys, give me one more second. I'm just waiting for my screen to share. This should be coming up any second. Susan, Frank, why don't you start us off while I'm trying to get this technology to work? Susan?
Hey, sorry, I was trying to text it out. So glad to have all y'all here on training today. It has been a crazy busy week. So a lot of great things and exciting things happening, a lot of people booking meetings. So congratulations. And if anybody has had a promotion or has exciting results that they would like to share, since a lot of people don't get to hear sometimes on the morning IPA, just raise your hand, hit action, and you can raise up your hand and we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so we we've been doing this almost every Tuesday. We have missed a couple. And one of the things I always want to know from any team I'm coming in to speak for is what they want to talk about. So Susan Cameron last night said pay plan, how to convert customers to brand partners, and two products. So to do all that, it's going to take us about 35 or 40 minutes. I would really like this to be really interactive. There's not just a crazy ton of people here. So I think I can go slow. You guys can ask questions. One of the things that I feel is of the utmost importance is the better you understand how you get paid, the more authority you have in building your paycheck, the stronger your desire becomes when you realize how obtainable it really is. There was one thing that was said this morning on the IPA call for those that were there, but there was a gentleman that spoke up and he experienced this for the first time. And some of you have experienced it a lot, but some of you have not experienced it at all yet. But what he said is that when he went to bed last night, he looked in his back office. And if you don't know where to go look, you go to your back office, you do your little drop down thing, and it says my money. And when you click on my money, you then click on volume. And when you click on volume, it will show you your power leg and your pay legs, and it will show you your estimated payout. It runs on real time. So if anybody in your organization on a pay leg signs up somebody, makes a random order, whatever, any transaction that could possibly occur, it's going to show there. And when you look at it on real time, it will show you you got this much volume on your pay leg. This is your estimated payout for the week. The reason it says estimated because there's a few things it can't estimate, like it doesn't look at your matching check and some other things. So when it says estimated payout, that's the least it can be. It's generally going to be significantly more than it's showing there. But what he said this morning is he went to bed last night, and when he woke up this morning, he looked and he had made whatever, I can't remember the number, maybe it was $300 or $400 last night while he was sleeping. Somebody had placed an order, somebody had signed up, whatever it was. And it was like an epiphany when that occurs to you. Hey, I just made money while I was sleeping. Something that 95% of this planet will never get to experience because they're so caught in their own world of trading time to pay their bills. They never stop long enough to understand that there's residual income. And it's not just network marketing. I mean, the stock market can make you money while you're sleeping. If you have rental property, you can make money while you're sleeping. The only issue in those worlds is it takes capital to get going, meaning that if you have a couple hundred bucks, let's just use an ultimate price. It's $2,700 here with shipping and tax to get started with a 30 pack. So if you stick $2,700 in the stock market and you're the best stock market picker on planet Earth, and that stock doubles or goes up 100%, which the average return is 5% a year. But let's just say you hit 100% return, you've turned 2,700 into 5,200 or 5,400. So there's not enough capital there to make a huge difference in a person's life. And also for $2,700, that's not even like in most rental properties you're going to go buy to turn into an Airbnb or whatever you want to do with it. It's going to require 20% down. It's going to be more like $27,000 to get started with just one piece of property. And you got a massive bank loan. So if something goes astray, you got a lot of risk involved. The greatest thing about our business is we all start with no downside risk. If somebody ordered a 30 pack and they got totally sidetracked and never sold a box, everybody on planet Earth can recover from a $2,700 investment. Nobody is going to go bankrupt over that. So anybody that ever says I got burned or whatever people might say, they don't even know what they're talking about. People get burned in the traditional world when coffee shops and restaurants and small businesses go afunk because there's major capital involved. There's bank loans involved. There's you may have some things leveraged against it. Here it's just us. It's emotional capital, and it's figuring out some way not to get off this train until it's fully rolling. It's the start that stops most people in our industry, or it's not necessarily the start that stops most people, but when people get going, understanding that it's a business and that every week is not going to be the same. It takes time to build a solid business. So you could have a great week or two or three, and you can still have a bad week, meaning that things are not always going to be the same in business like they are when you have a job. I heard something said early on when I started my career. Somebody said that if you know exactly what you're making next Friday, you generally have no chance for wealth. Like there's got to be some unknown factors that give you a chance to really create a significant income. So keep all of that in context now as we go through this. So beginning with the company itself being a debt-free company that's built for the long term, because a residual income is still only as good as the company's ability to always pay it. So us having solid owners, no debt, tremendous cash flow, profitability are all huge factors in us having a long-term residual income. And if you're new in the industry and you're still trying to figure out where all the money comes from, guys, this is these billion-dollar industries we're looking at here. That is just the United States. You scrapulate these trends out globally in the 50 something countries we're open in. And guys, we're in the middle of a multi-trillion-dollar empire. And what you have to understand is this money is exchanging hands with or without you, with or without Partner Co. It doesn't make any difference. They'll just go to Amazon and buy their anti-inflammatory product. They'll go to Walmart or Sam's or wherever their local nutrition store, Whole Foods, and buy their probiotic or buy their whatever they're looking for their body. This money's moving. So what this is giving you a chance to do is two things. It's giving you a chance to move the highest quality products that exist on planet Earth into people's hands that make a real difference, because there is other good nutrition in the world, but I will tell you 80% of it's no good. I was just watching today. I always do this when I'm driving and I got my algorithms built in on Instagram and TikTok to listen to a lot of top nutrition people, longevity doctors, things along those lines. And one of the biggest frauds on our planet is protein shakes that have really poor protein in there. They've got this whey protein that's not even good for you, and they're filled up with maltodextrin, which is raises the blood sugar like 3 times more than just regular table sugar does. It's a synthetic sugar used as a filler. And it's ridiculous. If you go down to your local nutrition store, 90% of the protein shakes will be built that way. It's just really hard to find good nutrition. We have it here. So that you got to understand that the money that makes our comp plan work, that builds your virtual nutrition store into profitability, is it like this money's going to be going to Jeff Bezos at Amazon, the Walton family. So why not you get it? Why not build it into your life? The other thing is that for your $30, you now have an international business. If you went out and borrowed money at a bank and rented or bought a storefront to put a nutrition store in, you basically have about a 25 to 40-mile radius of people going to come to you and buy stuff. There's zero chance for wealth. If there was a chance for wealth in a single location, then why did Starbucks, McDonald's, Arby's, Taco Bell, why do they all create franchises? Because all of them know you've got to have a lot of locations to create wealth. So that's the greatest thing again about network marketing, because to franchise traditionally is financially impossible for 99% of the world. But we all can pay our $30 here, get our $2,700 30 pack and start selling drops, get back to profitability with 15 boxes sold. We're back to even, no money owed, no money lost. And then we can put other people into business and create our own internal franchise system. So it's not just John and Darren, the owners, having the ability to leverage us out. We all have the same ability. Like you want to leverage one other business owner Or would you like over time to compound out and do what a Susan Frank or a Susan Cameron or now a Barbara Macburn have done? And that's put thousands of storefronts out there that you're getting a small override commission on. And you can do it globally. So just to review now how that strategically works is it's $29.95 one time. Most things today all have a monthly associated with them. Our app is free. You just go, once you pay your $29.95, you go download our partner kosher app for free. It's ridiculous that they don't charge for that. Your website is free. Everything is free once you're in the company. You need, once you join, to order 200 points to have what we call an activated income position. That's the least you can do and get paid by the company. But all of you on this team are ultimate. Y'all are all in at top pay. You're the best team in the company at explaining that and putting the value on that on the front end. But I'm going to put some extra value on it for you today because some of these things are hard to explain with a brand new person. So I'm going to take my time today and point out why it's so important to come in or as quickly as you can in that first 4 Fridays, get yourself to top pay or ultimate. And to do that, I'm just to clear it up, somebody's brand new or somebody's watching this video, is instead of moving 200 points of product through your business, you need to move 1,500 points of product through your business in the first 4 Fridays that you're in the company. And when you do that, thought I cleaned that up. It's weird. So when you do that, 3 things are going to occur. Number one, when you go to top pay, you double all the upfront money from 15 to 30%. Secondly, you unlock 3 generations of matching check for life. That one thing there, the second bullet point, is a wealth creator if you just find one right person. You'll understand when I go through it. And the third thing is you unlock 5 legs of business on day one. I know you guys all start with building 2 legs and stabilizing those with somewhere between 5 to 7,000 a weekly volume, but you want to already have these other legs ready right on day one because you may do that in a couple of weeks. Some of you are that good. The last piece of the puzzle is, and this is one of the reasons we're training on at least 2 products tonight and all the times we meet, is you got to have a subscribe and save, a reoccurring order of 100 points to be eligible for pay on Friday. It also makes you eligible for carryover volume, which we probably won't explain tonight, but carryover volume is really important to keep your power legs strong and big. Secondly, you've got to have a subscribe and save for your travel dollars to win your free vacations to keep building up. That'll be to Maui, Hawaii this year. And then thirdly, you've got to have it for your savings bonus to keep carrying over. You'll lose all of that without a subscribe and save. Our products are so magnificent and they have so many really incredible, well-priced 100-point packs built now. My favorite is that MOA and Renew. We covered MOA and Renew a couple of weeks ago on one of these calls. But generally speaking, when people get on those 2 products, they very seldom come off. But the probiotic is awesome. The vitamin mineral, we have so many good things. We're going to cover the vitamin mineral and the probiotic tonight and talk about those 2 on the importance on an auto ship, maybe Vanali also. Okay, so let's walk through the comp plan now. So if I'm at top pay, when you go out now and personally sponsor a new person, meaning they pay their $29.95, they become a brand partner, you sponsor them, they're on your first generation. For the first 4 weeks or first 4 Fridays they're in the company, anything they buy or sell, you're going to make 30% on until they go ultimate. So if you get a brand new person to ultimate, that creates $450 in income, 30% times 1,500. So if you would just like to make an extra $450 a week, then you need to sponsor one person and help them get to top pay selling body balance and drops on social media. Then we move into the team commissions. So going back to the gentleman we spoke of this morning on the IPA call that woke up and saw that somebody or some people had either sold a product, sponsored somebody, whatever occurred, a transaction occurred, and he saw he'd made a couple $100 while he was sleeping last night. Here's how that works. We've got to build at least 2 legs. and you're going to be paid on every leg you ever build. No matter what leg you sponsor on, you get the 30%. And the matching check, we're going to talk about in just a minute, occurs on every leg. It occurs if you only have one leg. But in what we call the team commissions, or the terminology we use is called base pay, you're going to be paid 15% unlimited of every leg you ever build, except for one on Friday, the biggest. You are paid on that leg, just not in this area. So if you start like you guys do, building two legs of business, and you're paid 15% unlimited of the lesser of two legs, you can see there on the screen that the young lady there with the orange shirt on is the weaker of the two legs this week. So it's 4,000 points. You get 15% unlimited of every transaction. So if that occurred in your business, your next Friday paycheck would be $600. And so you can understand the carryover volume, because you were paid on 4,000 points. That's going to subtract from 13,334, and you will start the brand new week on your power leg with 9,334 points. The difference in what was you were paid on and what was left over. So when you start that new week, you already have a really strong leg. That's a really big deal. A lot of companies do not do that. Your goal, your ultimate goal, if you can just do this one thing over time. And I always tell people, what if it took you 10 years to do this? Tell me, like most people work for 30 years for a retirement that ain't even close to what you're about to see. I was a high school football coach for 13 years with a master's degree. My last year coaching, and I was coaching in Arkansas, so it's not the best paid state. But my last year teaching was like 60 something thousand. I would have probably over my 30 years got to 125,000 in income. But retirement is about 65% of your best 3 years. So that means I was going to retire after 30 years somewhere in the 75 to $80,000 range yearly, which is not survivable in 2025. It's just not possible, which I would be right at retirement now. So look at this math. If you get two legs that are driving 13,000 points of
It
volume
was prime
weekly,
home buyers or something, and
if you get two legs doing 13,334 points of volume weekly, you can see the math. So this math is non-negotiable. This is 100% to the penny the way it works. However, if you personally sponsor people or you have matching check growing, it can be significantly more, but it will be no less than this. So the math on this is really simple. On leg two, 13,334 times 15%, you make $2,000 in base pay. Our company has a bonus pool. And when you get a leg to optimize, you get shares in the bonus pool. That bonus pool right now with that first leg is going to be between $450 and $500. It does vary a little bit because it is a moving target. Could be a lot more someday as our company gets bigger, but right at $500. Could be a couple dollars off, but not much. You're going to get 15% put into a savings account as long as you made more than $250 in base pay, and you did. So you get 15% of 2,000 is another $300 that's now in your savings account. So if you do that every week, that is 2,800 in income weekly. So again, be be an optimist, but also be a realist. Like, where else in the world does somebody show you a retirement plan of $145,000 a year that you could do in 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you're really terrible at this, 10 years? Like, I mean, the worst person on planet Earth, if they just talk, they're finally going to find somebody that can do this, even if they can't. I always say, like, I've seen so many zeros find heroes, it's unbelievable. Just open your mouth, and you just don't know who's out there that's going to absolutely take this and run to the moon with it. All right. So next, somewhere along the way, you'll start a third leg if you choose. You may just want to retire at $145,000 a year plus matching check. But if you do want to start a third leg, you're paid 15% unlimited on every leg but the biggest. So if your mind starts to grow and you want to optimize 3 legs, meaning you have 3 legs now that do 13,000 in a week, weekly, you can see you're going to get 2,000 per pay leg. The bonus money is going to jump to 1,000. Your savings account, we can the savings account does they don't give us more than 500 a week, so you would max out the savings drop that week for 500. So you can see 4,000 in base pay, 15% of those 2 legs, $500 savings bonus match, $1,000 bonus because you optimize 2 legs. So you're at 5,500 a week or $286,000 a year in retirement once you get these legs doing this weekly. All right, now let's look at what I'm talking about doing it weekly. So if you are really good, like a Susan Cameron is, at getting your team and your people started with top pay, every single time somebody comes in with a 30 pack or whatever combination of products they choose for 1,500 points, that's a huge, that moves the needle massively on that 13,334 for the week. As a matter of fact, you only need 9 people to either go back and order another 30 pack that they're selling, or a person to join with a 30 pack, or any product combination for 1,500 point. So once you have a decent sized leg growing, when I say decent, 40, 50, 60 people in it, it's not that big a deal to get 9 people, whether it be new signups or somebody just reordering a 30 pack, and optimize a leg. But this is the part that everybody has to understand thoroughly. Otherwise, you'll get totally demolished mentally and emotionally.
You want me to stop? I don't know if I can stop screen share and start back, Todd.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Somebody called me for some reason. It just totally threw my things off. I'm trying to get my screen.
Maybe if I share and then stop sharing.
Okay, I got it back now.
Oh, you
got
got it. Okay, perfect.
Okay, I figured it out. Okay, all right. Okay, so as we're sitting there doing that, hang on, didn't share. Hang on. I'm just got to reshare again. I apologize. Okay, so this was really important to understand. So I need everybody to really focus back in, especially if you're watching the video. So if you're getting these legs optimized with people coming in with 30 packs, it creates tremendous cash flow. Like, it can be life changing, but it's not stable, meaning that you're going to have weeks where it's not going to be the same. You could have a great week and you could have a terrible week because it's all based upon large orders, and it means nothing. So, like, just brace yourself if you're moving really fast, really quickly, because sometimes those are the people that actually quit on us, or the ones that move so quickly that they don't understand that they've got no foundation built. So what we're doing, and one of the reasons we're training on 2 products a week, is we're training into our teams. Like, we're training in auto ships and subscribe and saves and consistency and learning about the other products. People go make random orders. So look at this next page now. So over a period of time, if you ended up building a solid business, and you had a lot of other people in your business now making money, placing orders, but look at this. If you get on a leg, if you just had 134 auto ships run for the week, you actually optimize that leg when you wake up. So Susan, Cameron, I know we're doing this for you. I know on your leg for sure that has Ann and Billy and Stacy and Dr. Laura. I mean, that leg is exploded for you, Barbara. So when you wake up 4 weeks of the month, that leg optimizes if nobody does anything. And you've done that now in 14, 15, 16 months. So everybody has to visualize that over time. Let's just say it takes 2 years per leg. So in an 8-year time frame, you built 4 legs that had weekly auto ships that optimize it. You're at $1 million almost a year here with that occurring. So, like, don't get distracted in the first 2, 3, 4 years when you're building the foundation, because when you've got a really good company that's going to go long term, you got to build a solid business. But you want to get good at the early cash flow too, of getting people in at top pay and getting them all making money and duplicating. I talked about this savings bonus already. It's the 15% match. So the way it works is that when you make at least $250 in base pay in a week, and if somebody's in from Canada, it's going to be about 360 Canadian. When you do that, it actually triggers a 15% match. And you don't get it until your savings account bills to 10,000. You'll track that in your back office on your savings account wheel. And then when you hit it, you'll get an extra $10,000 released that next Friday in your paycheck. And then from that point forward, every fourth Friday, you'll get up to an additional $2,000 put in that check. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is the power of our matching bonus. I like to call it matching check because it actually describes what it is. It's really, really simple. And this is over and on top of all the money I've showed you so far. I just can't, I don't have a calculator that can show you this exactly because it's based upon other people's paychecks. This takes time to build. But over time, if you are building a solid business, this can actually be bigger than all other areas of the comp plan combined. For me, it's about equal, meaning the money I get out of base pay and new volume bonus and savings account, mine's about equal on matching bonus. I know some people that matching bonus is 2 or 3 times bigger than their base pay if they haven't built a lot of legs. So the way it works is really simple. Anybody that you sponsor, no matter where you sign them up, meaning you can sponsor them at the very bottom of the leg. The back office takes care of all this for you. There's two pages you go through every time you go to enroll somebody. Who's the sponsor? It's automatically you from your back office. And the next page is the placement page where you're putting them. So although you're putting them at the very bottom of a leg for matching check, that still counts as your first generation. And every Friday when they start getting their paycheck, you're going to get a 15% match on their base pay. So if you sign up somebody and they start optimizing 2 legs, that means they're making 2,000 a week in base pay. When they get their 2,000, you get a 15% match or $300. But when they sign up people on your second generation, you're still going to get a 10% match every Friday. And on the third generation, you get a 5%. Now, this is, in my opinion, by a factor of 10 or maybe even 100, this is the most important reason to get to top pay. Because when you get ultimate or top pay, it unlocks these first 3 generations for life. You don't even have to requalify, which again is completely unheard of in our industry. And this sets you up with what I call a live lottery ticket for the rest of your life. Because if you walk around one day and you sponsor a Susan or you sponsor a Barbara or you sponsor a Natalie or whoever's going to take off in your business, an Ann, a Stacy, a Laura, I mean, they're out there everywhere. They don't even know who they are. I didn't know I was going to do this industry. If you told me I would get out of high school coaching when I joined network marketing, I wouldn't have signed up just because you said it. I was like, I had zero confidence in myself to do this. I grew into it over time, just like many of you that are still trying to get your feet wet and understand all this, you're going to grow into it. So I'm going to immediately now go right into a couple of products. Give me 1 second to get the right PowerPoint pulled up. Only got like 5,000 of them. Okay. I will just reiterate this new collagen product. I really believe the collagen and electrolyte, the 2 products we launched at the convention, although I think the collagen is an absolute lead product. I really do. I think people can do wonderful things with it. I would not get distracted from the drops. I think you'd be foolish to do that because the drops are proven. But I do think that people want collagen. And I do think you could do a living room meeting with collagen. But nonetheless, I think it's a product that may be way stickier long-term than drops. because it's the building blocks for hair, skin, and nails. When people have a good collagen source, they're going to feel better. Their hair is going to be thicker. Their nails are going to be better. Everything about it's going to be better. So the collagen is our collagen comes from the marine fish source. We use the small fish, but more important than just the collagen that's in our product is we actually have peptides in our product that actually help the body make more collagen. So it's a dual factor, collagen in it plus peptides that are going to help us make more. It's a great add-on product, and it'll really draw your skin up. It's a great product to add in with the drops. But the electrolyte drink that we just launched helps with hydration. Most of us don't drink enough water. And a lot of women, especially, I know this is a very woman heavy group. A lot of women sometimes mistake menopause symptoms for simple dehydration, meaning women that get migraines and headaches. It's dehydration. It's probably the number one factor for people having low energy and seeing the symptoms there. And an electrolyte drink, number one, it makes your water taste better. That's one reason some people don't drink it. Ours tastes really good. But number two, it really gives you the three big minerals our body needs to operate effectively: magnesium, sodium, and potassium. Magnesium, if you are big into AI, ChatGPT, Grok, go ask how important magnesium is for your body. It'll blow your mind. It's good for your nervous system, your cardiac system, helps you sleep better, makes you more peaceful, restful, reduces stress, anxiety, and almost all women are deficient in it. Like, everybody needs an electrolyte drink every day. Then sodium, it helps the body be retained. But the other big one is for men and women. If you went and had a blood test tomorrow, 90% of the Americans are going to be deficient in potassium. And you can see there again, it helps nutrients be transmitted to our cells. It again helps with the nervous system. You know, I coached football for a long time, and we all know that low potassium is going to, if our football players are dehydrated or don't have good potassium, they're going to get cramps during the football game. That's the reason we would fill our kids with water and hydration and bananas and every other source of potassium we could put in them. It's so important. I'm not going to cover Advantage tonight. I'm going to hit these other two products as we end this tonight, because these are two that we don't talk about a lot. One of my favorite add-on products that really sticks forever. I would never not take this. I travel with it. It goes everywhere with me. But our vitamin and mineral is so perfectly formulated. It has been inducted into the physician desk reference. Like, pharmaceutical companies don't like nutritional products in their book. You have to have so many third-party studies out. Just so much data has to be out. But ours gives you, it's the building blocks of life. So I encourage everybody. We have a doctor that I used to work with. She's not with us anymore. But she always would say that our vitamin and mineral was the best prenatal vitamin on planet Earth. So I highly recommend it to pregnant women. It is just a foundational product. I get asked a lot, do you need to take a vitamin and mineral if you're doing MOA and Noni or Limu? And the answer is, those superfood drinks are quite nutritional. If money's dictating it, I guess you could choose one or the other. I would sometimes say the superfood drinks. Dr. Strand, who's way smarter than me, he always says the foundation of everything is the vitamin and mineral. Another doctor that I know that was really big into the weight loss side of things, she felt like every woman, if they were going to be doing the drops, needed the vitamin and mineral in combination. There's actually a pack in there. So it's a skinny drop and a vitamin mineral auto ship that was formulated there. But it's two different bottles, and it's actually 3 vitamins in the morning and at night, and then 2 of the mineral in the morning and at night. If you don't feel like you need to do both, then you won't need it every month, because there's enough in those bottles to do that, exactly what I just said. So 2 bottles would last you much longer than a month. There is a heart health pack you can get with the vitamin and mineral and the omega Q. The omega Q is omega 3 and CoQ10. Omega 3 has been linked to, if you have good omegas in the body, it's been linked to less cognitive decline. A lot of people in the weight loss world will tell you need the good fats to lose the bad fats. But I'll tell you, the biggest reason for the omega 3 is we live in a society that everything we eat pretty much has omega-6s in it, because omega-6 are all those saturated seed oils that every fast food restaurant uses. Even if you stop and buy peanut butter and crackers, it's everywhere. Just read your labels. It'll blow you away with how we're being contaminated. But an omega-3, omega-6 imbalance is the number one reason people have inflammation in their body. So if you can quit putting quite as many omega-6s in your body, the saturated seed oils, and you start supplementing with an omega-3, like, you could feel so much better you wouldn't even know yourself. So I love that Heart Health Pack. It's a 100-point combination. And I'm not going to talk. I'm going to add this one last one, because there's also a combination with the vitamin, mineral, and the Vanali. The Vanali is grapeseed extract. It comes from vineyards in Italy that test for 600 pesticides, and that is well documented to have some of the best antioxidants in planet Earth in it. It is really, really good for anything pulmonary, asthma, allergies are really helpful by it. It really boosts the immune system. So Vanali combined with the vitamin mineral, also a great auto ship combination, and that's a 100-point combination there. If you saw the vitamin mineral and the Vanali, so I mentioned a couple different ones there. I don't want to get too long tonight. I'm going to unshare my screen and just open this up now instead of me rambling anymore. Just any questions anybody wants to ask on any of the subjects we just covered. And I don't have Sarah with me, so you don't even have to raise your hand. You can just unmute and ask it. Or if somebody wants to comment that they're doing some of those combinations and how it makes you feel.
This is Regina, Todd. I do them all. The ones you're talking about, the optimals, I do those. The Magos, I do the Vanali, I do the Restorix, I do all that. Now I've got that on an auto ship with my husband, and then I have an auto ship with MOA and one other product. But the Vanali, like you were saying, on the bottle it actually says it's good like for skin. I think saggy skin and things like that. And I think Dr. Crystal had said she takes that, but I was taking Vanali every day, twice a day, and I doubled up on it because I tend to get sinus infections that turn into bronchitis whenever the seasons change. And I ran out of it. And I was actually at Susan Frank's house when I ran out, and I got bronchitis from it. So I never run out of Vanali. I love Vanali.
Love it.
And also, Dr. Strand said that the optimal M and V work like Batman and Robin. They work together.
Yeah, they for sure are a combination. So one of the things that I've heard said is that when the cell goes to do different things, chemical reactions occur in the cell, that it needs certain vitamins and minerals for those chemical reactions to occur. And that if something is missing, the chemical reaction doesn't partially occur, it just doesn't occur at all, which creates a cellular breakdown. Can you get vitamins and minerals from the food we eat? Of course you can. If you have a garden and eat like your grandparents did, you probably don't need to supplement. But if you eat like the people I see driving through McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and all those places all the time, you probably need a supplement. And even some people that are in the know feel like that a lot of our fields are so overused that even if you're eating a pretty healthy diet, you still need to supplement. I'm one of those people that believe that. I do both.
Hey, Todd,
Yes.
I have a question about the pay. When you have, I would call them off balance legs, where you have one really heavy side and one that just zoop, like overnight went light,
Uh-huh.
and you're going overboard, you're contacting everybody you can to get it going. I mean, do you have any tips for that when it's just, it seems like impossible almost like right now?
Yes, I do. I do. All right. So let's walk through this, because that's probably if anybody that's here that's trying to build a big business, you'll deal with the question you just asked me, you'll be dealing with the rest of your life. I'm dealing with it right now. I've got 2 new legs I'm trying to build, and for the life of me, I cannot get them to grow. I just cannot hit anybody. It's like, I must have lost everything I know. And the answer is no, I haven't. I just haven't hit the right person yet. Okay, so let's walk through it. So let's start with foundation thing 1, that if you can ever learn this, it's going to take all the pressure off of you. To get to the money I just showed you, to make the $145,000 a year without matching check, you have to have 2 optimizing legs. So if I have one leg that is really growing fast and hard, look up at God and thank him, because most people have no legs doing it. So I have a leg growing. Do not turn your back on it. Help it all you can. That way it'll stabilize. You never got to worry about it again as long as you live. I see so many people turn their back on their stronger leg and they're just chasing their tail their whole life here. So like you got to build at least two legs. One's growing. So now then I've got another leg that's not growing. So there's a couple combinations of things to get a leg going. And I'm doing them all right now myself. Although it's not my leg two, it's still a new leg. And I'm 6, 7 months into this leg and I still haven't got it exploding. So the first thing that I do to explode a leg is recruit them to it. And my mentor, Susan Frank's mentor, that we both had in this industry, made $1 million a month, and he had this famous statement he would always say, and it was, "It's easier to give birth than it is to raise the dead." So, do we reach out to people in our business that aren't doing anything? Of course we do. Do we offer to help them? Of course we do. Do we offer to do Zooms in 3 ways? Of course we do. Do we offer to do drop talks at their house? Of course we do. Do we call them up and motivate them? Of course we do. But at some point, if they don't accept it, I'm either going to complain about them the rest of my life, or I got to recruit somebody else in to work with. So that's why none of us, to include Todd, should ever quit posting twice a day, because it brings us people. If you've got the app, or if you don't have the app, you just do the workflow. It's not the app making things better, it's the workflow in the app. And we talk about the workflow every morning in the IPA. So are we doing lives? Are we doing reels? Are we doing things that build algorithms that get people to see it? If you're looking to build a business, not just sell skinny drops, it's really important to put some lifestyle posts intermixed in there. Fun, time freedom, working from home. Like, do a lot of that stuff so you'll attract a business builder, not just somebody who wants to sell skinny drops. Because remember, when we sell a box of skinny drops and we convert them to a brand partner, we're also now having to convert their brain if they're not interested in business, or they're scared of business, or they're fearful of posting, all the things that we know we hear. But if we're integrating in a lot of business posts, when I say business, I'm talking more lifestyle. People aren't looking for more work, but they are looking for more vacations and more time freedom and more fun and more cash flow and getting out of debt and sending kids to college without student loans and new cars and new houses and new kitchens. So like, post that kind of stuff and attract people that have a desire for it. And they're a lot easier to work with. So that's one. That's the other thing. And then the big thing I'm always trying to do besides recruit, I call it tap rooting. So I'm working through people. So when I bring somebody in, and I don't mean this negative, I've just been doing this a long time. I can't, like, this is a volunteer army. We don't hire employees. And most people, when they enter this company, it's not their main source of income. So they can quit it really easy. So when I say this, don't take it the wrong way. But when I sign somebody up, I'm trying to get some people they know before they quit on me. And when they sign up, I'm treating them as if I personally sponsored them. And I'm trying to get them to get me in front of some people before they quit on me. And if I can, because there's nothing better than a hot market, credibility. I'm a presenter. I just need credibility, because talking to strangers, although I know my information, I don't have the credibility with them. So I'm driving through those people. So I'm recruiting and I'm driving through them in any fashion I can to hit somebody new. So like, I'll just give you an example. Some of you have been around for a little bit. You know, Randy, the pastor, I got him on a skinny drop post. He started a new leg for me a year ago. He dropped 170 pounds. He got me to some people. He took a new job at a new church, and it totally took it, like he disappeared on me. He went away. I had personally sponsored myself somebody underneath him named Chris. Chris went away, but Chris got me to a guy named Brian. And Brian is the one person I have in that leg now that's allowing me to help him do Zooms and 3 ways every day. But I'm still having to recruit at the bottom of it because it's not enough yet. So I'm plus 7, 8, 9 months into this leg, and it is not popped for me. And I'm training y'all on how to pop a leg. So like, you just got to understand it. I have to go back and tell myself it's a process. But I'll tell you the other thing, and this is the last thing I'll end with this, because like I said, the reason I got long on this question, because it is, everybody that builds is going to encounter it for the rest of your life. Because when you have 2 runaway legs, you're going to be asking, like Susan Cameron. Excuse my cussing, but she's pissed off because her 4th and 5th leg aren't optimizing every week. So she's calling like, Todd, my leg. And I'm like, oh my God, you got 3 optimizing legs. Relax. You haven't been here a year yet. So it never goes away.
We don't want to go back. We don't. I got so excited maybe on that fifth line, Debbie, on your line that just popped in. I want to talk to Todd about.
So I'll tell you one thing that Susan is good at. She'll come to Susan Frank and I, an emotional disaster because her leg is caving, but somehow she gets over it and she recruits onto it tomorrow. And she
I
picks up the
recruit on
phone.
it and I work with those people. Today I got on there with a girl and I went through her business, and I can teach every single one of you guys to do it. And we literally went through her tree and went to look at everybody's auto ship, where they were, how close they were to ultimate, who's really working. This girl came back with an email to me. When people came in, how far they are to ultimate, when was the last time they ordered, and what did they order? Literally, we have a list now to go to her brand partners and say, guess what? This person's got the potential. This person's got the potential. This person's got the potential. So, Debbie, to answer your question, there is a lot of people in your line that they're just new. We just need to help them grow. And I had the conversation with Talia. She's like, yeah, this is my power line. This is my power line. And I went and looked at carryover. Everything was carryover except for 806 points. So when we get this other line that she started getting rock stars under, it's going to flip, and we got to still focus on maximizing your leg. So let her help. Let me help. Let us help. That's one thing. Secondly, I've been looking to break into this pandas, autism world. Today, God would have it, I've been reaching out to this guy, Todd, I need your help, because he has this Zyto scanning machine that he can upload every one of our products to. And he has done 40,000 scans. He's worked with all the top doctors that I know. And I'm on the phone talking to him about doing some work for my son. And he talks about his wife had cancer. She passed away. His dad, who was his business partner, specialist in Lyme disease, breaks his neck at the funeral, Todd, has 3 different neck injuries. He's chronic pain with neck and back. And I messaged him. I said, I've got a business you need to look at with some products you need to look at. Are you interested in talking to us about it? And Talia's daughter got crazy cool healing with this guy, and through his machine healed this severe eczema. And he's like, absolutely, I'm ready to hear it. So you see what I'm saying? That's something, me just saying, hey, will you listen about this business and these products? I think this could really help your dad in a way that you're not able to help him yet. Yes, I'm open. So I don't have all of the technical things about the products like Todd, Rowland, or Susan Frank does. So that's our next step, is to get that. But if we can get these products in his machine, all of these kids and people that he scans, they're going to pop for Noni and Moa and the drops, and it's going to explode. I can feel it in every cell of my body. Like, it's going to explode. So you just keep going. You keep being excited. You keep, just like Todd said, God, who can I help today? Kevin overheard this guy talking, and he was like, who is this person? And he was like, oh my gosh, this person speaks your language. That's what we need. The people that speaks our language. We don't have to explain anything to them. And he's been looking for us. His wife died from cancer. He's homeschooling his daughter. He's overstressed. He didn't even know people couldn't find his business. I called him up. I said, you've got some technical difficulty. Like, I'm trying to track you down. You don't even know I'm trying to reach you. He's like, oh my gosh. So I'm just saying that, like, keep going. And the more we say, oh, it's like energy out, energy in. Oh, there's nobody that wants to work with me. Guess what? If that's what you believe, and I know, Debbie, you're as positive as they come, girl. You're a rock star. But I'm just saying, the rest of us, when we get Debbie Downer, when we don't use the products like we're supposed to, we create our reality. If you're connected to Jesus every day, you guys, Jesus is ready to serve you. Go out and help people, help your team. And I'm not a great recruiter recently. I recruit through you guys. Like Todd's saying, it's time. I got to start bringing people back in. So watch out, Todd. I do need your help with this guy. We're going to do some amazing things. See, I get fired up. Just keep getting excited. That's it.
Yeah. So it's you got to understand that it's emotionally challenging, and you just have to win that battle. And then you have to go back and do the fundamentals. And I'll tell you where I mess up on the fundamentals is that, like, a Susan Cameron leg does almost 500,000 volume weekly for me, and I put 10 times more time into this leg
So
than I do
much
my new
time
leg.
in us. You do so much time in us.
So, like, I'm not distracted by a job. I'm distracted by my own business, because anytime you're trying to build new legs, it requires an intense amount of focus and energy because nobody's capable yet. You're the only one capable on those new legs.
It does. Susan, I got a question. Maybe this is way out there, but I got a girl I signed up way back in April. She never made ultimate. She didn't want to sell, doesn't post, but she has consistently ordered April, May, June, July, August, September, November. She spent over $2,000 on products, and I know she's sharing them with a friend of hers, and I can't get her on a Zoom. I don't know what to do with her. I mean, she's still making money for me, but it's not the type of money that I want to make. And I do, and I see what Debbie was saying too, because I've got a leg that's at 13,334, and then I got one my pay leg that's at like 317, 314. And I did the math, what you said, Todd, times the 15%. And that all makes sense and everything else. I'm glad you explained that. But it's exhausting sometimes. Because I'm doing reels, I'm doing lives, I'm doing lifestyle things on here. I'm posting places that I go. I'm reaching out to everybody. I even shared this Zoom tonight because a couple other people I found it with Susan Frank to share. So some of my team members could get on it. So it's exhausting sometimes, but I'm never going to quit. I'm going to keep going,
Yeah.
keep going. And like you said, Todd, if you're at the position that you're at and you still find it after 6 months that one of your legs hadn't optimized, it's